talk about a sad event again. The last time I mentioned something similar, I ended up crying because it was for my grandmother's and my great aunt's death. This time is my grandfather's death, which was recently. I'm not gonna cry this time though. The point actually is not in the fact that he died, but alright, so the situation went like this. I had a game that day. A pretty important game, even though it was against the best team in the country, so we were pretty sure that we were going to lose. Well, no, not really, you're not really supposed to say it out loud, but yeah, we were sure we were going to lose. And I'm preparing for this game, and my mom calls me and says, you need to come home right now. Googie, that's what he called him. Googie died. I said, oh shit. So instead of going to this game, I packed my stuff and went straight to Cakovec, which is about an hour and a half out of Zagreb, to obviously be with my mom and the situation. And the first person I called was my coach. I called my coach and I said, sorry coach, I can't come to the game today. This and this happened. I'll be out of town for a few days. And what ended up happening was, well, they lost this game. My team lost this game. And I think the score was 6-0. Unimportant. But that night, I got a text message from one of my friends. And she tells me, oh, I read in the newspaper about your grandfather, my condolences. And I thought, okay, it's very thoughtful, but what do you mean you read it in the newspaper? What newspaper? Because we didn't publish anything. We didn't tell anyone what happened. We're still kind of figuring everything out ourselves. And what do you mean, what newspaper? And she goes, oh, the daily papers. I saw the article. I'm like, what article? And she sent me a picture of this article. And the title is, I don't know, Dinamo, my club, right, lost this game. And then underneath it says, Helena Moulton didn't attend the game because of the death of her grandfather. Why would you publish that in the newspaper? I definitely didn't tell anyone that. The only person I told was my coach. My coach told the director. Now, I know that our director likes to publish things in the newspaper, so I'm pretty much sure that he had something to do with this, because nobody else would write that, because who really cares why this one person didn't come to this one game? But I found it absolutely unbelievable. And then it said, American player couldn't come and help her team because of her grandfather's death. I'm thinking, what the fuck? And I was quite frustrated. And it was just, definitely, I study journalism. So I know that there was nothing, there were no laws broken. You're not penalized for that. There was nowhere written that I said that nobody could say anything. But it definitely would have been much more ethical or moral to have asked first before you publish something about my private life in the newspaper. And the funny thing is that weekend, so this game was supposed to be on a Wednesday, or it was played on Wednesday, and I didn't go. The following game was that Sunday against the same team, so we were going to lose again. And then I'm thinking, so after that game, I had in my head, I was like, oh, so now is he going to publish in the newspaper that Dinamo lost again, and this time, although Helena was present, she was still traumatized from the death of her grandfather, so she couldn't really play well and keep us from losing? Yeah, that would definitely, that's about just as stupid as the first article where you said that I couldn't, well, whoever published said that I couldn't come because of the death of my grandfather. Anyway, I actually scored an own goal that game too. It's kind of funny. I guess it might be the third one. The first two were against Germany, right? That was the national team. This was my club team. But it's a little bit ironic because for every death this year, I've actually scored an own goal. So grandfather died, I scored an own goal that weekend. My grandmother and great aunt died, I scored 2 in 6 minutes. It's a little bit interesting.